it's a very fluid situation, and we're doing daily, sometimes hourly updates on what's going on there for our clients. Obviously, Hong Kong, a huge financial center, an international hub. All sorts of companies have assets there, they have personnel, they have intellectual property. It's a huge place, and has kind of existed in this special status as a part of China, but for the past 150 years, through British rule and being transitioned back to China, has maintained a level of autonomy and independence that makes it a really special place to do business, that has access to both China, but also has some special exceptions that make it a better place to do business for a lot of reasons. And you see that under attack right now. You see protests in the street on a daily basis. The airport being shut down for a couple days last month. You see streets shut down, train stations shut down. It's really posing a risk to companies that do business there, and companies are thinking, do we want to keep traveling to Hong Kong? Do we want to keep our personnel in Hong Kong? We don't know, because the situation is so volatile. And so we're updating companies, we're talking to our clients, what are your specific vulnerabilities? Here are the parts of the city, here are the areas of the city that are experiencing the most violence. Here's what we think is going to happen. And if you'll allow me, I'll go a little bit further and just say that, the protests right now are certainly a physical risk, and anyone who's there right now has to be careful of that. But to go beyond that, and this is what Stratfor we really try to do, is go beyond just the what's going on the street right now to what potential disruptions could come in the future. If you see Hong Kong's special status as a financial hub and a business hub right now, that could be eroded in two different ways. First, you could see there's a real risk of China, of Beijing sending in forces and basically occupying and claiming Hong Kong and incorporating it into mainland China much faster than was anticipated, in which case you'd have a total change in the business environment there. The other side of that is, a lot of countries recognize Hong Kong's special status. They get special treatment. It's easier to trade. They don't have the same kind of tariffs and sanctions that we're seeing right now with U.S. policy aimed at China. If that goes away, that's going to be a much bigger disruption than the protests we're seeing right now. So something that companies definitely need to be aware of.
So, excuse me. Here's my take on an analysis. Can we have a objective threat analysis when there's so many things going on? Case in point, if somebody came in here and started shooting right now, doesn't bother me. Not a threat to me. I'm used to dealing with guns. I know they're inaccurate. I'm going to go take that guy down. I'm not going to worry about it. I worry about the guy I don't know about. That bothers me to no end. That's my highest threat level, right? Mm-hmm. Are there some things that are generic threats that everybody should be aware of? Because when you're translating the data, right, it's good data, but does the client always accept it as being the outcome he's looking for?
So, yeah, in the world of geopolitics, obviously you have a lot of different interests.
Yeah.
And we're an American company. It's hard to convince maybe like a Chinese client, who has a very different set of beliefs and approach to the situation in Hong Kong. It's a very emotional issue. I mean, people are very, very upset about this. And so that's where you have to really rely on our background and our integrity and our, we take away the political veneer off of this, right, and just look at the threat. To really try to boil it down to actions you can take to mitigate the threat.
Yeah, I mean, a mob outside your business is anybody's threat, unless you created the mob, because then you're using it to your advantage for some reason, right? So what are clients most worried about in your wheelhouse? Is there a common thing jumping out every year? Does it change every year, by the way? Or we have, 9/11, it was terrorists, right? And maybe now it's bank fraud. I mean, what's kind of going on in the world that people worry about the most?
So to bring it back to Hong Kong again, to China, I think China is a big concern. It's obviously
a lot of your clients are focused on that. Interesting, all right?
Yeah, because they do business there. It's almost impossible not to, in some way, do business with China. Either your supply chain is integrated into China, your market's there, you have personnel there. You have intellectual property that China wants and is targeting that through various espionage campaigns. So there's a lot of threats, but then a lot of reliance. So you can't just pull out. You can't just leave China because so many companies, their whole business model is based on that. So it's figuring out how to manage that relationship and how to keep business continuity without losing it through various threats.
So every show I sit here at the end and I go, I feel pretty good about that guy. Or I go, ugh, my stomach hurts. I feel pretty good.
That's good to
I
hear.
think you guys are on the case, right? And we need more of this human interaction, analysis. We can't rush to judgment on things. We can't react to things. We have to sit there and look at it and go, let's have a guarded, thoughtful approach to our solution and not make it political, not make it emotional. And I think it'll make it a lot safer that way. Because
I agree.
how you react to things is more important than how somebody reacts to you. Really, in the end.
That's a good point, yeah.
Ben, my friend, always good to talk to you guys. Give us your website one more time.
We are at threatlens.stratfor.com.
Now, here's the trick question. What's your boost number?
We are 2028.
Excellent.
Right, we've been watching.
Right
you.
over there.
We've been watching you for 2 days. You're amazing. You're a machine.
I apologize for that. All right, back in a minute here at SecurityGuyRadio.com and SecurityGuyTV.com and GSX 2019 on ASISTV.org.